So the main event has just concluded, and I can safely tell you that Leon Edwards has just dismantled Kamaru Usman over 5 rounds, and he's still the champion. He's still the champion, as I predicted. I predicted a split decision because it was a very close fight, and when there was a point deduction in the fight, it did seem like it would be a split decision. But I had Edwards winning genuinely, I think, 4 rounds of that 5-round fight. Even you could give him all 5. The only round I really had him losing was the second round where he had the point deducted. But anyway, let's speak a little bit about the fight. And also this light above me making my hair look super shiny. I apologise for that, very much so. However, what a fight. Like, the start of the fight, let's get into this, right? They're both in the cage, and you know how Usman does that thing where he walks towards you, he walks towards you. He walked towards Leon. Leon stood there, straight-faced, just doing gun fingers at him. Headshot, dead! Fucking hell, that got my heart going, that got me nervous, that got me in the mood for a main event. Fair play to Leon Edwards. Fair play to Kamaru Usman. I was thinking this after Usman lost. I was like, thank God. I mean, I wanted Edwards to win. But I remember so many nights Usman winning. Like, so many title defenses, so many good performances and boring performances. And I remember just thinking, the Usman era's done. But he said in the post-fight speech he wasn't done and that he will meet Edwards again. So who'd you do Usman with next? Did you do Usman against someone like... this is kind of a bold one. I was thinking, what about somebody a bit further down the rankings? You know, Vicente Luque, somebody like this. Usman versus Luque, something like that. Usman will most likely get a few wins. I mean, he's still obviously like the second best in the world, but Leon Edwards, let's talk about his performance. Controlled the pace of the fight, a much slower fight. Went out there, just was tapping his legs to bits, tapping his knees, his legs, keeping him at range, just popping that jab. Loads of body kicks, stiff body kicks, and Usman just was trying to plod forward, trying to apply that pressure, and a lot of it did take place up against the cage. Nothing significant from any takedowns. There was one big takedown. Usman got up against the cage in the second round, and Edwards grabbed the fence, just like instinctually grabbed it, and he lost a point. So even the fact that he got a majority decision, despite a point being taken away, is phenomenal, and it kind of just shows how close the fight was. But also, when it come to the post-fight speeches, you know, Usman was like, "Look, I thought I did enough," and you know, I want to say this about the London crowd and English fans. Booing Usman after your fighter's won and he's lost, it's just like, I don't boo anybody. I mean, I never boo anybody. I mean, I've told this story before on my YouTube. We were at a Bellator event one time. I was sat with my dad in Dublin, Bellator event, and I started booing the was it like Roman Salazar, something like that, when he was fighting James Gallagher. I started booing him on the main event. My dad nudges me and he says, never boo anybody when they're walking out. You know, it's a bit pathetic and disrespectful. Like, oh, boo, fuck you, boo, pathetic. When I'm the one sat in a crowd, not living a disciplined life, not putting in the work that they put in, not fighting for my life, fighting for my family. You don't boo anybody. You can hate them silently. You can want them to lose. You don't boo them. That's just what I've always been told. And to see the English crowd booing him after he'd obviously been dismantled, beaten, great leg kicks, great body kicks, great striking overall from Leon. A true technical, well-rounded mixed martial artist who slowed the fight's pace down and destroyed Kamaru Usman, in my opinion. And it's all it took. That's all it took. A long, skinny, lanky, well-rounded fighter to beat Usman. So I'm very proud of Edwards. But yeah, as I said, London crowd, you know, I don't know, you know me and English people, I feel like you know, if you've been a long time viewer, I hate Anthony Joshua because the English people overhype him, over pamper him, even though I think Anthony Joshua is a terrible boxer. I don't boo him though, you know what I mean? And we're kind of getting sidetracked, but who cares? That's what this video is all about. I'm very, very happy for Leon Edwards. I'm very happy for Leon Edwards, you know. I feel like he's a boring, humble guy as well. But it's fresh, you know, it's fresh. It's something different. I wanted him to win. Not because I hate Usman, but I want a bit of life in the sport, and I feel like Edwards will give us better fights than what Usman could offer. You know, even in the post-fight speech, you know, Edwards kind of just stood there looking around. Like, he's not like this big personality per se, but I mean, he's an English. He's done it out of England. He's beaten the greatest, more modern welterweight in the last few years. You know, I'm not going to forget what George St. Pierre did. However, Usman is close second to George St. Pierre, but I still think St. Pierre has that over him. However, he's done it out of Birmingham, England, which is just... It's such a massive thing for Birmingham as a little city. Like, it's such a massive thing. You know, and you could now you can stick Leon Edwards maybe on a Dublin card or like a stadium in the UK with McGregor. And it's just, imagine Birmingham's vibe tomorrow. People that have never heard about UFC will see in the Birmingham paper that we've got a UFC world champion, and they'll feel a bit more pride in their city, and I feel like that's truly inspiring. Talking more about the fight, I mean, I had Edwards winning 4-1. I gave Usman the round where Edwards had the point deduction. Even though I still think that round could have been a draw, 9-9, but I'd imagine the judges would have given it 10-9 to Usman. I haven't actually looked over the scorecard. I'm just kind of playing it by ear at the moment. So I had it genuinely 3-1 going into the 5th round. I was so confident in Leon, but then also Kamaru had some control time, had some of this, and I was like, the way the judges have been tonight, it's just mental. And it's you know, I was sat in between rounds just trying to think of like, you know, all the times I've thought I've hated Usman, but then I was like, you know, it can never be more hatred than I have for Molly McCann. Well done, lad. Well in, lad. All right, lad. It's like, mate, you're fat. Shut up. Monster of a human. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. That's absolutely horrible of me to say, but fucking whatever. I'll stomp on your head, buddy. I don't know what else to say to you, to be honest. The fight was unbelievable. And I was just like, I was watching it and I was like, this can't be real. No way this is real. Someone's just outclassing Usman. And then I realised, this is all it takes. A technical fighter that can slow the fight down even while being pressured and just stay calm and just deal with it. And fuck, this gets me inspired, you know what I mean? Only like 2-3 more months, I'll be quitting my job and going off to Thailand to train full time, and I will be the future of the sport. And I say that out loud. There was a Scottish fighter on the card, Chris Duncan. As you all know, I'm half Scottish, half Irish. I think Scotland is shit for MMA. It's rubbish. I'm sat training some boxing sometimes during the week and stuff, and I'm like, truly Scotland is terrible. Like, for most things, Scotland is rubbish. The people think they're solid, but they're not. I need to get out of this country, and I'll fight representing the country, but I want the world to know I do not train out of this country. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. That is, what a horrible thing to say about my country. But like, whatever. I'm proud of it. I'm not proud of the performance Chris Duncan put on in the cage. It was terrible. But a good card. I had Fiziev beating Gaethje 2-1, but apparently not. It's fucking pathetic. Like, as you all know as well, I hate Merab and I hate Justin Gaethje, and they've both won in the last 2 weeks, which is just absolutely it hurts me. But anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Leon Edwards gets it done. Fair play to Kamaru Usman. I want to see Edwards versus Chimaev, or even, you know what it is? Give him Bilal Muhammad again. Just give him something like that. It doesn't have to be a big fight next. You can just slot him in a co-main event in the International Fight Week or something. Because I feel like you want Leon as champion to get a few highlights, and then give him the Covingtons after Covington gets a win, and then the Masvidal fight if Masvidal beats Gilbert Burns, which I don't think he will. I think Masvidal's completely finished, and I think he'll retire after. I've got Burns winning by KO, but you know, we don't have to speak about that for another 2 weeks. But anyway, extremely excited. Vera Sandhagen next weekend. Can't wait to make a video on that. Thank you all so much, folks. See you all later. Have a lovely evening.